March Madness wouldn't be anything without John Wooden, the greatest basketball coach of all time. He coached 11 NCAA championship teams through the 70s. And he's a legend in coaching. He's a legend in leadership. And when he talks about how his approach was developed, he often tells stories about his father. In fact, one of the stories he tells was when he was a young boy. He grew up in Indiana, where all good college basketball coaches grow up, right? So he grew up in Indiana. This was a long, long time ago, and his father owned a farm. And back in those days, sometimes the quarry owners would rent teams of horses to haul carts of gravel out of the holes that they're digging this gravel out of, right? So John's there with his father, and his father's leading their horses to pull these carts up, and there's many of these teams coming out at the same time, and all of a sudden there's this big hysteric mess. There's this horse, and now there's a big hill, right? And it had rained, it got muddy, and these horses are struggling. And the farmer's yelling at them and screaming at them, and the horses are fighting, working, and frothing at the mouth, and it's kind of making a big scene. And John walks over, or as John sees his father walk over to the man and says, "Let me take them for a minute." Quietly, his father steps near the horses, and he just begins talking to them. And next thing you know, he's putting his hand on their nose and starts rubbing their nose. And then he steps in between the horses, and he's holding their harnesses. And slowly but surely, he steps back in front of them, and with a simple whistle, those horses lean in, step forward, and pull that cart out like they had no problem with it. It's like they wanted to. It's like they wanted to do it at that point. John Wooden says this: "I've never forgotten what I saw him do and how he did it. Over the years, I've seen a lot of leaders act like that angry young farmer who lost control. So much more can usually be accomplished by Dad's calm, confident, and steady approach." And he said this: "It takes strength inside to be gentle on the outside." When you have a firm center, you can have soft edges. It takes strength inside to be gentle on the outside.